They have to sign someone, but who? What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video of Sports Talk Buffalo. Before we go any further, I want to remind you guys to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you guys never miss an episode. We talk Bills, Sabres, and UB Bulls, men's basketball and football right here on this page. Also, remember to check out my Teespring store. The link is in the description below. With free agency just a few weeks away, it is clear the Sabres are going to need to bolster their bottom six as we go into next season. But who do the Sabres go after? That is the real question. While the Sabres have a ton of cap space and are going to struggle, what appears to be struggle to get to the cap floor, it appears as though they are not going to go out and make any giant moves this offseason to try to make a big splash or anything like that, as we've seen in the past with teams with big cap space. It looks like they are going to stay the course and roll with pretty much the exact same forward group heading into next season. They just need a little tweak on their bottom six. So who do the Buffalo Sabres go after? These are three players that I think the Buffalo Sabres should target in free agency that will not cost them an arm and a leg, so that they can save that cap space for when a lot of our younger guys go off of their entry-level deals. The first player I want to see the Sabres go after is Aston Reece. Aston Reece is still in his prime. He'll be just 28 years old when the season starts. He's 6 feet tall, 205 pounds, and played 69 total games last season between Anaheim and Pittsburgh. In those 69 games, he tallied 5 goals, 10 assists for 15 points, and was a +9 player. Reece also finished with a career-high 231 hits. That's 3.3 hits per game over the course of those 69 games. Now, for his career, Aston Reece is roughly a 23 points per 82 games played type of player. And he also averages nearly 3 hits per game over the course of his career, just slightly less. So not only do the Buffalo Sabres add somebody in their bottom six, their fourth line essentially, that can produce offensively for them, but also he adds a little bit of that physicality that the Buffalo Sabres so desperately need as they finished dead last by a very wide margin last season. The second player I would like the Buffalo Sabres to go after, or I would love them to go after, is center Derek Steppen. While yes, Steppen is on the back end of his career at 32 years old, he is still a very effective bottom six player. He scored 19 points, 9 goals, 10 assists in 58 games, with just 10 minutes and 48 seconds of ice time. So think about that. This is a guy who, with just 11 minutes of ice time, essentially was able to get nearly 20 points last season, which means he still has enough offensive ability to be able to move up the lineup, provided there's any injuries or anything of that nature for the Buffalo Sabres. Also, what he brings aside from his offensive ability is that last season he was a very good faceoff guy at nearly 56% in his faceoffs. And he could potentially be the guy that replaces Cody Eakin in that faceoff circle. As you know, Cody Eakin was essentially just a faceoff specialist for the Buffalo Sabres. He really didn't chip in physically. He really didn't chip in defensively. He really didn't chip in offensively. He was basically just a Sabres' best faceoff guy, and they used him in important faceoff situations. And that's something that the Sabres are going to have to look to potentially replace if and hopefully when they let Cody Eakin walk. Now, the third player that I have on here is, when you look at his stats last year, not somebody that Buffalo Sabres fans are probably going to like, but I wouldn't mind. He is 30 years old when the season starts, and that is Josh Archibald. He is coming off a season in which he only scored 1 point in 8 games. So the Sabres would most likely be able to get this player on a vet minimum so that they do not have to break the bank, which leaves even more money provided they want to go ahead and start signing some of their younger players either in this offseason or during the season that we are playing. He is also a player who averages nearly 3 hits a game for his career. But Archibald is more than just a guy who can hit, as over the course of his career, he is a 24 point per 82 games played type of player. So yes, he did come off of a very difficult season. I believe last season he only scored something like 13 points also. But he is a player throughout his career that he has shown that in limited minutes he can produce offensively. And not only that, but he also does much like what Reece does, and that is add a little bit of physicality to that fourth line, a little bit of grit and sandpaper, something that the Buffalo Sabres desperately need going into next season to just make them a little bit more difficult to play against. The Sabres have seemingly a ton of young talent, a burgeoning star in Tage Thompson, and if the Sabres can pick up where they left off last season and they add another goaltender, yes, I know that they signed Craig Anderson to another 1-year deal, but hopefully the Sabres go out and sign another goaltender to be the starter for this season so that we can see this team take another step forward going next season. But if they continue the play that they did over the last 2 months of the season, this Buffalo Sabres team will be a bubble playoff team next season, again, provided that they can do that for the entirety of the season. With just a few weeks left, it will be a few weeks left before free agency. It will be very interesting to see where the Buffalo Sabres or what direction the Buffalo Sabres will go, what direction Kevin Adams wants to go with his team and the team he is trying to build for not just now, but for the future. So there's a lot of exciting things going into this offseason. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Again, remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a video. Bills, Sabres, and UB Bulls men's basketball and football right here on this page. Once again, guys, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic week.